What's up, guys? It's Bird Brains here, and today I thought I'd treat you all guys with a great video. It's probably one of the best videos I've ever seen on YouTube before. I mean, I just watch this content all day long. It's that good. So, without further ado, let's just get right into it.
Hey, I'm Flavia, and I grew up in a small and boring town in the US. I hated everything about my life.
You know what, Flavia? I can empathize with you because I also grew up in a small, boring town in the U.S. It very sucks that you hate everything in life. That's really unfortunate there.
Except my boyfriend. He was pretty cute. But then the unimaginable happened. I got pregnant at 14.
You know what? You're living in a small, boring town. The only thing you like is your boyfriend in life. That's just a recipe for disaster. It's really not like the unthinkable that you got pregnant at 14, because that right there is like the perfect ingredients mixed together in this pot to like create that type of scenario. You also must have had some pretty shitty parents too, or they really just weren't paying attention or caring at all.
And trust me, it was a big deal in our small town.
Is it just me, or would that be a big deal like anywhere in the world? That's probably like the number one thing you can do to like mess up your life immediately. Just have a kid at 14, especially. Like, I don't see how anywhere in the world that would be a good thing.
Many parents told their kids to stop being my friend because, according to them, I was a bad influence. But I didn't mind.
These parents are pretty stupid, just like telling everybody to shun this girl for having a child when in reality their daughters are probably doing the same thing. They just weren't as unfortunate as she was.
I loved walking through the streets with my big belly at age 14 and everyone staring at me. But once the baby was born, no one cared about me anymore. And I missed feeling special. So I got pregnant again.
Oh my, that is probably the most intelligent thing I've heard anybody say in my entire life. Because nobody's looking at me, I'm gonna have another child. That's a great idea. Let's do it. Hell yeah, let's go.
I simply forgot to tell my boyfriend that I had come off the pill. And that time, it was even better, because I was expecting twins, even though I was only 15 years old.
I'm really interested in seeing how her parents financially recover from this situation.
You must wonder what my parents were thinking throughout all this. Well, they were already in their 60s and retired. They had nothing to do with their lives. So they really enjoyed having grandkids to look after. The only person who wasn't happy was my boyfriend.
I love how they have the fucking animation of her boyfriend just sitting there with his arms crossed, just grinding his teeth like, what the fuck is going on here, bro? I mean, this guy genuinely must love this girl, though, for him to just not walk away, because this situation is honestly getting out of control. So, I mean, props to him for not just fucking walking out on this shit.
He said I had tricked him into getting me pregnant twice. His parents also hated me. They said I had ruined their son's future.
Oh, there we go. Some parents with some sense. I mean, they're not wrong. You kind of did. And he has at least enough dignity to stay with you throughout all this.
But my boyfriend has always been a good dad. And I know he likes kids. Because when he got me pregnant a third time when I was 16, he really shouldn't have been surprised. And it turns out that I'm one of those women who has a high chance of having twins. So the third time I got pregnant, I got twins again, so we had 5 kids in total. I know that most mothers say that being pregnant is hard, but it was easy for me.
I'm not really sure how to view that statement. I mean, maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's not a good thing. Maybe if pregnancy was bad for you, you wouldn't have had, 5 kids now at 16? But I mean, at least it's a good thing that it doesn't bother her that much. I don't know. I'm so fucking confused on this whole entire story, and it's kind of hard to believe that this is true.
I love the feeling of having a baby inside my belly. Long story short, I got pregnant again at 16 with twins, then another time at 17 with triplets, and one last time with twins at 18. That means that today, as an 18-year-old, I have 10 kids.
Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, I've never even heard of anybody having 10 kids before, much less at 18 years old. I'm absolutely shocked at this. I'm so confused on how she's able to like financially support all these children. And I mean, if she is, then kudos to her. I mean, that's a great thing. At least you can like buy your kids stuff and they're not starving to death. But like, how in the world could you like take care of 10 kids? That's like the size of a classroom.
I seriously don't recommend this to anyone. I've had to sacrifice everything for my kids, including my education and even my good looks. I mean, I'm only 18, but I already look like I'm 35.
Are you 18 but look 35? No problem. Try Morrison's Grade A Skin Lifter 5000. We ensure that every part of your skin that you lather this borderline toxic ointment on becomes as tight as dried out leather. It will virtually set your skin back an entire 20 years at the cost of your sanity and the feeling of a bottle of superglue perpetually being reapplied to your face. Want to go to the beach? Too bad, because if this ointment comes in contact with too many UV rays, you will virtually burn your skin off. Oh, you have 10 kids and can't go outside anyway? No problem. In fact, I'll give it to you for half off.
It's because it's so stressful to take care of so many kids, and my hips have gotten much wider, and my belly is covered in stretch marks and is all saggy, even though I'm not even pregnant right now. I was so insecure about my body that I even asked my boyfriend if he still found me attractive. Luckily, he is a good guy and told me I still looked as stunning as when we'd first met.
You know, this dude is really a legend. I mean, he's over here complimenting this girl, staying with her, trying to financially support her. He didn't even know this was going to happen. Like, it happened when he was 14. He didn't even have time to, like, fathom what it was like to have that many children. Yet, he's processing it really well, and he even graduated school.
So, we are a good family, with the exception of my firstborn child. He is a monster, and we can't leave him alone with his siblings because he's super violent and enjoys hurting them. I know this is scary, but he shows a lot of behavior that is present in psychopaths.
Is your child a raging psychopath? No problem. Take our new medication, Stemulolus. It soothes your child and puts him in a zombified state, allowing him to only have the motor functions of a small rodent.
You might think I'm evil for saying this, but sometimes I wish that he would just disappear. He only cares about himself, and he is ruining all of our lives. But at least my other kids are great. They are cute and love to play with each other. Right now,
That dude really got the moves. I'm sure he could come with like a whole new, like a viral dance just centered around the dance that kid's doing right there. It's phenomenal.
I'm raising my kids with my mom and dad, while my boyfriend focuses on school, so he can someday make enough money to support a large family like ours.
What is that dude studying to be? Bill Gates? I don't even know how you could possibly ever, like, make enough money. One person to support 11 people. I don't know. Sounds like kind of impossible to me.
We also decided to not have any more kids for the next few years.
The next few years, I swear, these people are going to end up on a Netflix reality TV show. It reminds me of the one sextuplets, except they're not going to be called that. They're going to be called duodecimal.
Because it would just get too expensive.
Too expensive? You have 10 kids. How is it not already too expensive? Your grocery bill's probably 5 figures. What the fuck?
Some of my kids even call their grandma Mom, but I don't mind. Actually, something crazy happened 1 month ago. 2 men broke into our house. It happened at
I just have to say that's single-handedly the greatest sneaking animation I've ever seen in my entire life.
night while I was asleep. But my 3-year-old boy, Chris, noticed them and ran to my bed saying, "There's someone downstairs." I thought he had been dreaming, but then I heard some noises and I knew he was telling the truth. Luckily, my boyfriend was staying over that night, so I woke him up and we decided to call the police instead of confronting the thieves. We didn't want to risk it, in case they hurt us or our kids.
You have 10 children. You have an entire army in your house. Just everybody get a fucking knife and just charge them. They'll be dead. Completely dead in like 2 seconds. It's more effective than like a .33 caliber rifle.
I was terrified. But after 10 minutes, the police arrived, and they were able to catch the thieves. So you see, having children also has its good sides. I just hope that once they go to school, they protect each other, so that none of them will be picked on. And soon, we will be able to do fun stuff like snowball fights and singing Christmas songs together. But there's another problem. My boyfriend's parents are trying to convince him to leave our city to study at a good college.
It's probably a good idea, seeing how this guy's gonna need to at least pull in 8 figures if he wants to support this family.
But of course, I hate that idea. There will be so many pretty girls, and I am scared that he will fall in love with one of them and leave me. Recently, one of his high school classmates, Joanna, asked him out on a date, even though she knew my boyfriend and I were in a relationship and had 10 kids.
Well, isn't that the definition of a homewrecker if there ever was one?
I mean, everyone in our small town knows us. The 18-year-old teenagers with 10 kids. But I'm lucky to have such a loyal boyfriend, because he rejected her and told me about it afterwards. When I heard that Joanna had hit on him, I got so angry. I wrote a Facebook post calling her out for trying to steal my boyfriend. A lot of people liked my post because most people already knew what kind of girl Joanna is. Not a good one. She responded to my post, saying that none of it was true. But over the next few weeks, she tried a couple more times to steal my boyfriend at school. It's so pathetic. But she is the least of my problems. The real problem is that there aren't any good jobs in our small town.
So my question is, how are you supporting your children now? I mean, do your grandparents have this huge lump sum of money? I mean, it's obvious they don't work. If there's no good jobs around there, then there's no reason to work. I'm baffled.
Which means that at some point, my boyfriend will need to move to a bigger city anyway to find a good job. That's the only possible way to support such a big family.
You know, there's always tax fraud, tax evasion, government loopholes, and OnlyFans.
But there's no way we can afford rent in a big city with so many kids. So we won't be able to go with him. But I guess I should stop complaining. I'm lucky to have a boyfriend who does his best to take care of his children.
That's for damn sure.
Many fathers in this kind of situation would probably run away and start a new life. At least he's not like that.
Alright guys, well that pretty much sums up that unbelievable story. It's like she's trying to repopulate an entire Smurf village, and I'm still quite unsure how she pays for all of her kids now. This is an actual real-life reenactment of the Loud House. Anyway guys, make sure to comment below what you'd like me to do next, and if you like these kinds of videos, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.